to be honest. No, well, oh dear me, what a shot that was. It's sensational.
The snooker world holds its breath as Ronnie O'Sullivan, the sport's most decorated player, remains undecided about competing in the 2025 World Championship at Sheffield's Crucible Theatre. With just days remaining before the tournament begins on April 19th, the seven-time world champion continues to delay his final decision, stating he will wait until the 17th or 18th of April before confirming his participation. But April 18th has arrived, and he has not made the decision. O'Sullivan has been absent from competitive snooker since January 2025, when he withdrew from the Championship League in Leicester after an uncharacteristic outburst saw him snap his cue in frustration. That incident marked the beginning of an extended hiatus, during which he has skipped 5 ranking events, citing medical grounds each time. In a revealing interview with TNT Sports, the 49-year-old opened up about his recent struggles and ongoing preparations. "I've taken some time out to work on correcting a few things," O'Sullivan said. "Instead of using somebody else's method of playing snooker, I'm trying to rediscover my own approach." He admitted the process has been challenging. "I'm making little breakthroughs, but then you regress, and at my age, you start questioning whether it's really worth it. Despite these doubts," he maintained, "I'm still fascinated by the game, which is good." The stakes couldn't be higher for O'Sullivan, who currently shares the record for most World Championship titles, at 7, with Stephen Hendry. A victory this year would break that tie and likely settle the debate about snooker's greatest ever player. His last Crucible triumph came in 2022, when he defeated Judd Trump 18-13 in the final, becoming the oldest world champion at 46 years old. Yet, O'Sullivan remains characteristically indifferent about the pursuit of records. "I've never really been that competitive for titles or records," he told TNT Sports. When pressed about his motivation, he explained, "It's just the pursuit of playing the game to the highest possible standard. I'm in competition with myself." This philosophical approach contrasts with his unparalleled achievements. O'Sullivan holds numerous records, including most ranking titles at 41, most Triple Crown events at 23, most Masters titles at 8, most UK Championship titles at 8, fastest maximum break of 5 minutes 8 seconds, most century breaks over 1,200, most wins at the Crucible at 78. TalkSport host Andy Goldstein, who grew up with O'Sullivan in Essex, offered insight into the player's mindset. Goldstein said, "With Ronnie and Stephen Hendry, you've always had that question. Who's the greatest of all time? Their careers are completely different. Stephen won his 7 world titles in about 9 years during the 1990s. Ronnie's done it over 3 decades. If he wins an 8th, that answers the question." Goldstein emphasised O'Sullivan's unpredictable nature. "I don't think even Ronnie knows which version of himself will show up. He's broken his cue, tried 3 or 4 others, and still hasn't found the right one." Yet he added, "If he opened his eyes on the first day with just a broom handle, he could probably win. He's done it before with barely any practice." The reference was to O'Sullivan's 2013 World Championship victory, achieved after playing just 1 competitive match all season. Recent footage from Saudi Arabia shows him completing a break in under 7 minutes with a new cue, demonstrating his enduring skill despite the layoff. The tournament draw has added further intrigue, pairing O'Sullivan against longtime rival Ali Carter in the first round. A matchup that promises fireworks given their history of tense encounters. Mark Selby, himself a 4-time world champion, commented, I don't think either of them will be happy with that draw. Carter is one of the toughest qualifiers to face. Other notable first-round matches include defending champion Kyron Wilson versus Lei Peifan, Judd Trump versus a qualifier, Mark Selby versus Ben Wollaston, John Higgins versus a qualifier. Ken Doherty, the 1997 World Champion, warned about the consequences of a late withdrawal. He said, "It would be really disappointing if Ronnie pulled out now. Fans have bought tickets specifically to see him play." Bookmakers still list O'Sullivan among the favourites despite his absence, with odds placing him behind only Judd Trump and Kyron Wilson. His seeding at 5th reflects his ranking, just below Trump, Higgins, Selby and Wilson. The tournament's grueling format presents another challenge. Matches progress from best of 19 frames in the first round to best of 35 in the final. A test of endurance that Goldstein noted takes a mental toll on O'Sullivan. 17 days is a long time under that pressure, he said. Prize money stands at £500,000 for the winner, with the final scheduled for May 4th. Other top contenders include Mark Williams, Luca Brixell and Mark Allen, all seeded within the top 8. The snooker world waits for O'Sullivan's decision. The clock ticks down to what could be either a historic campaign or another chapter in his complex relationship with the sport. The World Snooker Championship is fast approaching, but the biggest tournament in the game could be without one of its great champions. No one has more titles at the Crucible in the modern era than Ronnie O'Sullivan, who is level with Stephen Hendry on 7 wins. The 49-year-old could look to add at least one more before calling time on his illustrious career. A record 8th World Snooker Championship triumph looks unlikely to come this year, as there are serious doubts over whether the Rocket will play at the event, which starts on the 19th of April. The uncertainty surrounding his participation has become a major talking point in the snooker world. O'Sullivan has not played at a ranking event since November, when he was beaten by Barry Hawkins. He smashed up his cue out of frustration before dropping out of the Championship League in January, while he has missed a string of tournaments this year on medical grounds. As a result, he could miss the World Snooker Championship for the first time since his tournament debut in 1993. O'Sullivan's recent absence from competitive snooker has been notable. His last appearance was in January at the Championship League, where his frustration led to breaking his cue. This incident highlighted the difficulties he has been experiencing with his game. The 7-time world champion has withdrawn from 5 tournaments in 2025, citing medical grounds as the reason. These absences have affected his ranking position. Currently, he sits 31st on the one-year list, which has meant he did not qualify for the Players' Championship or Tour Championship, both of which are based on one-year rankings. However, O'Sullivan remains 5th in the world rankings, which are measured over 2 years. This position means he is still eligible to qualify and be seeded at the World Snooker Championship without having to go through the qualification rounds. Ronnie O'Sullivan has not yet confirmed whether he will play at the World Snooker Championship 2025. He has told TNT Sports that he intends to wait until the last minute before making his decision. "I don't know yet," O'Sullivan admitted recently to TNT Sports about his World Championship participation. "I haven't made my mind up. I'll probably make a decision on maybe the 17th or 18th of April. I don't know when I'm due to play my first match, so I'm going to try and leave myself as much time as possible. I'd love to be able to go there and play. I'd love to be able to have the confidence to be able to get my cue out and go and play snooker. I just need to give myself as much time as possible to see where I'm at with it and see whether it's something I'm going to be able to do." The tournament draw is done on Thursday morning at 8:45 a.m, so we should have a clearer idea then whether or not the 7-time champion will be taking part. This timing means O'Sullivan will need to have made his decision by then. A major factor in O'Sullivan's hesitation appears to be concerns about his current form and confidence levels. Speaking to The Sun earlier this month, He made it clear he felt he was a long way from mounting a serious challenge at the 49th edition of the tournament. He said, "At the moment, I would be happy to win a match. If I turn up at Sheffield and I win a match, I would go, that's a huge victory for me. It really would be. I know I've got the talent and I know that it's there, but it's just finding it. I haven't found it for 3 or 4 years." In another revealing comment, O'Sullivan explained, "I had a spell in 2022 from January until the World Championship where I won it and beat Judd Trump in the final, and felt great. Other than that, the last 4 years have been so appalling, I'm not sure what to expect really." He compared his current situation to 2013. "In 2013, I know I hadn't picked a cue up for 9 months, but the minute I did pick my cue up, I felt like I couldn't miss. On the practice table, I felt like I was hitting the balls as sweet as ever. My confidence was there. This is completely different. Despite these struggles, O'Sullivan did offer fans some hope that he still had the hunger to get back to his best. He said, "I know it's not going to be a quick fix. At the moment, it's like I'll take a step forward, I get excited, and then bang, I take 2 back. Then I take a couple forward, and then I take 1 back. You think that's why I said I want to give myself some time."
And how about that for a recovery? He's well and truly got his eye in now.
The snooker world witnessed an unprecedented moment in March 2025 when Ronnie O'Sullivan, the sport's most decorated player, snapped his cue in frustration, following a 3-2 defeat to Robert Milkins at the Championship League. This marked his 4th loss in 5 matches, culminating in a that saw him the inning before from the A on medical grounds. O'Sullivan later admitted this was no impulsive act, but the breaking point after years of mounting frustration. "I regret it, but that wasn't a spur-of-the-moment thing," he told the Daily Mail. "I'd had 4 years of just really struggling and I couldn't take it anymore." The 49-year-old clarified that his anger stemmed not from losing, but from his deteriorating performance quality. It wasn't the losing, it was playing really, really badly. 4 years of bad spells is a long time, so it burnt me out. It ground me down. It's been torturous. His frustration reached such levels that he developed anxiety around practice sessions. "I got to the point where I was scared to go near the practice table or get my cue out of my case." In desperate attempts to regain form, O'Sullivan experimented with radical changes during August 2024. "I tried playing left-handed for a whole month. Then I tried changing my bridge and was wearing plasters on my fingers. These measures proved futile. I've tried a lot of things but hit a dead end, which is why I needed time out." The snooker legend distinguished his struggle as primarily physical rather than mental. "It's not a mental thing, it's more physical. Watching my game on TV, I could see what was wrong, but didn't know how to fix it. I couldn't even watch myself play because I hated it." O'Sullivan traced his technical issues to deliberate changes made 6 years earlier. "I started altering my technique around 2019 to find an extra 5% consistency, but I've totally made my game worse." He identified an even earlier root cause. Attempting to emulate other players during his teenage years, "My biggest mistake was at 13-14, trying to copy players like James Watana and Ken Doherty. They were the best I'd seen live, and I thought I needed to cue like them. That's where problems started. I should never have changed from my natural self-taught style, which was better than anybody else's in my opinion." The cue snapping incident preceded O'Sullivan's withdrawal from the 2025 Masters, where he was defending champion. He described this as a nightmare decision to Eurosport. "If you'd asked me Sunday was I ready to play, I probably would have been okay, but it's such a massive tournament." He cited exhaustion from a demanding 3-week playing schedule. "There was a lot of pressure while I was away. The build-up got too much." His withdrawal opened a spot for Neil Robertson, who capitalised by defeating John Higgins in a remarkable comeback from 5-1 down. O'Sullivan expressed admiration for the tournament. "This is unbelievable. Top 16 best players in the world. Amazing crowd. I've won it many times, been in 14 finals. I'd love to come back and win again." The aftermath saw O'Sullivan take an extended break from competition. His participation in the 2025 World Championship remained uncertain just days before the event. "If it's like today, it's just not going to be pretty," he admitted. "If I go to Sheffield, I'd be happy just winning one match. That'd be a good result." Comparing his current situation to his 2013 sabbatical, when he took 9 months off before winning the World Championship, O'Sullivan noted stark differences. "In 2013, I picked my cue up after the break and was hitting the ball like a dream. Now I'm coming from a point of struggle." The veteran player set himself a 2-year deadline to rediscover his form and enjoyment of the game. "I'm not quitting yet, but will give myself 2 years to figure it out," he told MailSport. "I don't want to finish feeling like I wasn't performing to my level. I don't have to win tournaments, but want to enjoy the game again." O'Sullivan was brutally honest about his prospects. "Do I think I can do it? Probably not, if I'm being honest. I'm probably damaged goods as a snooker player at this point. You take a lot of battle scars over the years." Reflecting on his career trajectory, O'Sullivan revealed, "From 12 to 16, I loved the game. If that had continued, I'd tell my kids to play snooker. But from 17 onwards, problems started. It takes its toll, saps your happiness." He drew a stark contrast between sporting careers and regular professions. Most people have 4 or 5 jobs in their career. As a sportsman, you only get one, so you have to stick with it, whether it's good or bad.
Shocked, to be honest with you. And I can only put it down to an age thing, because 2020, I was like, okay, maybe it was just a one-off. But then when I won it in 22, and it felt quite easy winning it that year as well, I still felt like my body had just been
Talk about the World Championship in general, what it means.
Ronnie O'Sullivan has broken his silence regarding his prolonged absence from professional snooker, delivering concerning remarks about his future in the sport. The 49-year-old snooker legend hasn't competed since January 2025, when he made headlines for snapping his cue during a Championship League match against Robert Milkins. Since that incident, O'Sullivan has withdrawn from 9 tournaments, including prestigious events like the Masters. His extended absence has raised serious doubts about whether he'll compete at this year's World Championship in Sheffield, where he had hoped to secure an unprecedented 9th world title. In an exclusive interview with the Daily Mail, O'Sullivan said, "I'm not quitting just yet, but I will give myself 2 years to try and figure it out. I don't want to finish my career feeling like I wasn't really performing to the level that I know I can." The 7-time world champion's comments paint a picture of a player struggling with both form and motivation. "I don't have to win tournaments, but I just want to feel like I'm enjoying the game," he admitted. "I'd like to go out with a smile on my face. I have to try and repair myself and just try to find how I used to play snooker." O'Sullivan's assessment of his current abilities was startlingly honest. "It's a massive rebuilding process, and probably the last one I'll ever have to do as a snooker player. Do I think I can do it? Probably not, if I'm being honest. I think it's probably a bit too late in my career, and I'm probably damaged goods in the form of a snooker player. You take a lot of battle scars over the years." Despite these doubts, the world number 5 remains determined not to walk away yet. "But I'm not prepared to quit at this point because I feel like I would be quitting on a bit of a low." The snooker icon has participated in every World Championship since 1993, making his potential absence this year particularly significant. His recent withdrawal from multiple tournaments on medical grounds has only intensified speculation about his Crucible participation. O'Sullivan's struggles extend beyond technical issues. He spoke candidly about the psychological toll of his career. "You get one life, and you should choose something that doesn't tug at your heartstrings quite as much. That's what snooker has done to me. I wouldn't want anyone that I care about to go through what I went through." He reflected on his relationship with the sport. "From the age of 12 to 16, I loved the game. If that had continued through my career, I'd say to my kids, yeah, go and play snooker. It's been amazing. But I've had a lot of problems from 17 up until now, and it takes its toll on you. It starts to sap away at your happiness." The January incident where O'Sullivan broke his cue appears to have been a culmination of years of frustration. He explained, "It wasn't the losing that made me snap my cue. It was the playing really badly. 4 years of bad spells is a long time, so it burnt me out. It ground me down. It's been torturous.